Tonight's subject is Unless I Go Away. This is from that theme in the 16th chapter of the Gospel of John, where he makes the statement, "It is to your advantage that I go away. For unless I go away, the Counselor will not come. But if I go away, I will send the Counselor, and he will lead you into all truth." Not just a little piece, but all truth. Then he said, "A little while, and you will see me no more." Again, a little while, and you will see me. And we are told they did not understand him. Now God speaks to man in vision. If man is so organized by divine providence for spiritual communion, God will speak to him in vision. And then it's his duty to tell it to the world as he moves through the world. Well, many, many years ago, I was taken in spirit. Here I was shown an enormous field of sunflowers. And every flower, enormous flower, was the human face. But it was a flower, stationed in the earth. As I looked upon this enormous field of beautiful sunflowers and saw them move in rhythm, they moved in concert. If one smiled, all smiled. If one frowned, all frowned. If one moved, they all moved. Although stationary, they bent, as though bent with the wind. And I knew as I observed this motion, this wonderful concert, that I enjoyed far greater freedom than all of them put together and multiplied by any number. And yet, looking at this beauty, I did not feel at the moment I could compare to such beauty. Yet I was free, and they were not free. They moved in concert. And then I looked, and here was this enormous dust right next to the field of sunflowers with human faces, was a dump where all the garbage of the world was thrown. Then suddenly the vision faded. Then you must wait for its interpretation. But here he speaks to you and tells you. Now in 1937, Aldous Huxley wrote a book called Ends and Means. And in the book he said, "I had motives for not wanting the world to have a meaning. Consequently, I assumed it had none. And I was able, without any difficulty, to find all the reasons in the world to support this assumption." He didn't want it to have any meaning, because he wanted to tell certain things of this world to justify his behavior, to justify any violence that he might write about. But he didn't want it to have meaning. Well, he assumed it had none. And the assumption led him to find all the reasons in the world to support that assumption of his. I tell you, it has meaning. Everything in the world has meaning. A little feather falling from a bird flying through space has meaning if we only understood how to read it. But everything in the world has meaning. There's meaning. In the beginning was the Word. And that word translated from the Greek logos means meaning. In the beginning is meaning. And meaning was with God, and meaning is God. There is meaning to everything in the world, but as yet you and I can't quite understand it. Any more than I could understand that vision. I woke from it, I never wrote it down, but it's indelibly impressed upon me. I can't forget it. It happened many years ago. But now I'll tell you what it means. because in the interval other visions have thrown light upon it. The Gospels, the parables, are an acted story. God plays the central part. And we were just like the flowers, the sunflowers, with human faces, stationary and moving in rhythm to God's command. We were puppets. And God wants persons, not puppets. If I as a father took my son to camp, and then I left my son in camp, and then moved away, to him I would be caught up into a cloud, and I would disappear from his vision. But I do it for his benefit. I do it for his good. When God took us out of this heavenly sphere, we were only puppets, moving in concert. He brought us into this world called the world that is fallen, for our good, that we may become completely individualized, even though we pass through hell to awaken as God. And so, in a sense, God was never more present than when he was absent.